from the appropriated sum of 5,461,057,923 naira only for capital cost expenditure, 618,051,692 naira was uploaded as at 7th of January 2025 through bottom-up cash plan policy regime as required by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. These appropriated sum is to cover the following capital projects as contained in the table below. I draw your attention to pages 4 and 5 of this speech. Revenue. Distinguished Chairman, distinguished Senators, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly request your attention to note that in the year 2024, from January to December, the Ministry generated a total of 702,221,523 naira 49 kobo only. This revenue was accrued from various sources, including VAT, withholding tax, and stamp duty, the use of government halls, sale of justice journals, and refunds of overpayment as part of the ministry's internally generated revenue, IGR, then 2025 budget submission. The ministry submitted a budget proposal of 19,860,554,281 naira only for the 2025 financial year. This budget outlines our strategic plan to enhance the administration of justice in Nigeria, drive legal and judicial reforms across various institutions, strengthening the rule of law, improve legal architecture for promoting safety of lives and secured investment climate, and ultimately ensure that justice is accessible and equitable for all citizens. These consist of the following. Personnel cost, 5,611,413,829 naira only. Overhead costs, including legal services, 7,499,524,027 naira only. Then the capital project came to 6,749,616,425 naira only. The total tallies. Personnel costs. A total of 5.6 billion is allocated for personnel costs, including salaries, wages, and peculiar allowances for state council, including lawyers serving in the Gambia. Overhead costs. As stated earlier, an allocation of 7.499 billion is proposed for overhead operations encompassing legal services and other essential administrative expenses, which is less than the previous year, which may be a serious challenge given the current economic downturn. You may wish to recall that the approved ceiling for 2024 on overhead was 8.826 billion as against the 7.499 billion, recording a significant shortfall of 1.326 billion. Capital expenditure. The total sum of 6.749 billion is earmarked for capital projects covering a wide range of initiatives aimed at enhancing our infrastructure, technology, and operational capabilities. These appropriated amounts is to cover the following capital projects as contained in 2025 appropriation proposal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is contained on page 7. Conclusion. Mr. Chairman, the Vice Chairman, distinguished members, the Solicitor General, heads of agencies, directors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I seize this opportunity to appeal for placement of item 1 on the budget proposal for 2025, which reads the National Anti-Corruption Strategy Framework, unquote, with a broader budget line of quote, implementation of National Policy on Justice, Federal Ministry of Justice Strategic Plan 2023 to 2027, as the earlier item is a subset of the wider strategic plan. Distinguished senators, it is imperative to state that the ministry's ceilings for both overheads and capital expenditure is grossly inadequate owing to our enormous constitutional and statutory responsibilities. The ambitious plans we have for the legal and judicial reforms are encapsulated in the National Policy on Justice cannot be achieved without sufficient funding. It should be noted that the effect of our interventions in this sector have multiplier effects, which will promote peace and security, economic growth, and social justice. We also have a major project of upholding the laws of updating the laws of the Federation up to 2024. This is not a project to be done in piecemeal, and the funds allocated are also insufficient to enable us to conclude these major initiatives. I would like to specifically crave your indulgence to support our request to provide additional funding as an investment in the long-term sustainability of democratic institutions and the well-being of our citizens. In this way, we will continue to build on foundations of our democracy, particularly in the area of access to justice. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I conclude by humbly requesting the usual support of the committee for the approval of 2025 budget proposal for the Federal Ministry of Justice. We believe that the budget will enable the Federal Ministry of Justice to effectively discharge its mandate and contribute to the overall socio-economic and legal development of their country, Nigeria. We are committed to working with the Senate and other critical stakeholders to ensure that this budget is effectively utilized